Okay, so now what do I do when I'm actually going off into sleep so that I can be in a space where I can be receptive? First of all, I have a lot of sacred symbols that I surround myself with. You'll notice there are icons that surround the bed. Above me, you'll notice that I have a picture of the tunnel, and in the center is Jesus Christ, of the tunnel of light that many people talk about. So this is right in the center of my bed. Right below the tunnel of light is a line of the prophets from the time of Krishna to the time of Baha'u'llah. So you have Krishna, Moses, Pythagoras, Zarathustra. This is actually Jesus and Krishna together. This is the Buddha. This is Jesus. This is Muhammad. And this is Baha'u'llah. One of the things I keep right here in the center of my bed is a picture of Veronica holding the cloth with the holy face of Jesus. I do this because of a special vision I had with Saint Veronica, because she's a special saint to me, because she comes to me and has instructed me many times. Up here, I have what are called scapulars of Mount Carmel. These are Catholic symbols that people use. Actually, all three of these are different kinds of scapulars, but they're all scapulars of Mount Carmel. Has to do with making sure that you're protected in the moment of death. So you have a scapular around the edge of your bed, and protection So what these are protection from is that when you cross over, if you die in your sleep, the scapular, there are other requirements to having a scapular that you can look up and find out more about. It comes from the Our Lady of Mount Carmel apparitions. But it says right here, whosoever dies wearing a scapular shall not suffer eternal fire. So it's a promise from Our Lady of Mount Carmel that if you wear this scapular, have it around your bed, or some of this is more like jewelry, these are more the old-fashioned scapulars, there is a set of prayers that you are required to do as well, along with the scapular, which gives you that kind of assurance that you are going to be protected. So I have all kinds of these things. I have crucifixes above my bed. I think crucifixes above anyone's bed are powerful and important. Part of the reason for that is because the simple word crucifixion causes the demon's skin to burn. Need I say more? So, you surround yourself with good things. The next thing is, as I get ready to go off, I pick up my rosary. I wrap it around my hand like this. On nights where I'm going to pray the chaplet of the Divine Mercy or the rosary itself, I might lay down and do those prayers first. But on the nights when I'm not going to, or on the nights when I am, when I'm finished, I wrap them around my hand. And then I lie in bed. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that I do that were taught to me in mystical states to actually accentuate the process. So obviously, the first thing I do is I usually turn out the light. But since we're not going to do that, we'll take off the glasses. Now that you're filled with good, positive, spiritual thoughts from reading, what I do is I take my rosary, wrap it around my hand, and then I do this. You'll see all 5 fingers correlate across from one another. Then I separate them out like this. And as you can see, my elbows are now relaxing. And I can now close my eyes. And I'm beginning to breathe. What I've learned in the mystical state is that when your hands are like this, the connecting points just like this, it multiplies the energy, the vibration that you are able to produce by about 10 to 20 times. It's very, very powerful when you actually go into the vibrational state and feel the difference when you detach, reattach. It's like night and day. No engine, jet engine. So now that you're in this space, your focus goes entirely on prayer. Sometimes I do prayers where I do a lot of talking to God about things that are going on, just like a friend. But more often than not these days, because my needs are so clear, unless I have a specific need for a person, which I sometimes do, I pray for individual people, I present to God everything that He needs from me. He knows my needs. I present to Him all my friends. I present to Him all the prayer requests that come in. And it's done in a very, very gentle way like this. And I just begin breathing. I do go through the gratitude part of my prayers, where I thank God for the things that I need to thank Him for. I go through the will of God part of my prayers, which is I ask God to help me to know His will and to do His will, and to accept those things that I thought were His will that may not have been. And all the while I keep breathing. And then sometimes, as I start to wander off, my hands might go like this. You'll notice the two fingers, and they might go to the side, usually a little bit like this. And then sometimes like this. But I create an open vessel through the crown, through the third eye, and through the heart. And there's a reason I hold the rosary. I've been shown many times that holding the rosary prevents certain demonic intrusions from being able to touch you or enter you or bother you. So I hold a rosary when I go to sleep at night, every night. Then, after this, I can engage in either a very long conversation with God in my mind and spirit, my heart, or I can engage in a very long silence where I listen. And sometimes God takes me out very quickly. Then the next morning, when I'm returning from my travels, I'm always aware that I need to awake slowly. I need to keep recalling to mind the things I have seen. I think of catchwords that will help me remember things so that I can get over to the room where I have the notepad where I write down the notes of what's happened. Try to remember things that might have slipped off during the night, things that happened before the last experience. And I keep in my bathroom a notepad so that as I get up from one experience and then go back to another, I write them down. Because if you have another one in between, you'll forget the one before unless you write it down. If you write it down, you'll remember it again the next morning, even if you've forgotten it. So I gently, usually wake up on my side, here with my pal, St. Veronica. My arms are usually a little bit like this, because even when I'm on my side, I need that openness in the heart, openness in the energy, here, here, here. I don't want to feel crunched. I can feel that openness. And I awaken very slowly. And as I'm awakening, I'm trying to remember, trying to bring back to consciousness the details that may not be as clear. And then that's about it.